Hello, Taras here. Welcome to another episode of our running series, What is a Fish? Today, we return to the reef slopes of the Indian Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, and the tropics. Today, we're going to be talking about the Apogonidae. Today, we're going to be talking about the cardinalfish. The cardinalfish are associated with the slopes of reefs. There are more shallow water varieties, like the pajama cardinal that you see behind me. There are more deeper water varieties, like the striped cardinalfish and the like. These fish are schooling, relatively peaceful, great additions to a wide variety of reef aquaria. Most species are reef safe. They like their small invertebrates, but they do not eat, let's say, like companion and cleanup crew. They like to school, but they are not nearly as territorial as like anthias or damsels, let's say. Then they're a fantastic addition. I particularly like the Bangai cardinals, which have this wonderful white and black coloration. The one downfall of these guys is that they were a little too cheap and a little bit too easy to harvest off the reef. The majority of the 20th century, this became a very cheap, very accessible, and widely purchased and widely collected aquarium species, to the point that by the beginning of the 21st century, quite a few species have become a little bit depleted, including the Bangai cardinal, which had a fairly limited range in the Indo-Pacific. It had been pretty drastically reduced due to collection, and then also the habitat destruction associated with dynamite fishing, cyanide fishing, and other activities in the area. So, long story short, why I mention this is because you'll never see a wild-caught cardinalfish, at least not a Bangai cardinal, for the foreseeable future. It's because one, it's not only illegal to collect them now, but two, because of the pressures on the population, because they were such a hallmark aquarium reef species that everyone still wanted, people buckled down and figured out how to aquaculture them. It started off with casual experimentation on the hobbyist level, and then worked its way up to formal industrial mariculture of the Bangai cardinal species. Before we go, we'll talk a little bit about the unique breeding behavior of the Bangai cardinals. You see, the Bangai cardinal is really interesting because most marine species of reef fish lay these small pelagic eggs, they scatter them out, they come out as larvae, they have to do their thing, and it's very difficult to raise them at scale. Not so much so with the Bangai cardinalfish. There's a good amount of parental investment to the point that the parents will actually mouth brood the eggs, and then before the eggs are ready to hatch, they will deposit the eggs on a diadema sea urchin. So they will throw up their eggs inside the sea urchin spikes so that no fish will hit the eggs. Then the adhesive eggs will hatch, and then the larvae will stay around the sea urchin for a varying amount of time. So rather than polyculture diadema sea urchins with the Bangai cardinals, because that might be a little bit impractical, scientists and then later farmers found out you could take basically a styrofoam ball and stick a bunch of straw ends in it and make a mini sea urchin. And if you have very comfortable Bangai cardinalfish broodstock, they will do the same thing, throw up the eggs, and from that practice, a sustainable mariculture industry has arisen where Bangai cardinalfish and many other species such as the pajama cardinalfish are now widely available, aquaculture, disease-free, show less stress, and are a very promising example for the future of the reef industry. So that's a little bit of a taste in the Apogonidae, peaceful schooling reef fish. Feed the algorithm, like and subscribe, like cardinalfish slurping down a piece of mega marine algae, and see you next time.